Candy, we're live now.
All righty.
Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Jack Hanton. Today, we have a very special guest, Candy Christophe. Candy is the executive director of the Reentry Solution uh, program here in Central Louisiana. Reentry Solution is dedicated to coordinating existing resources and developing new ones to help break the cycle of return to incarceration. They work tireless to remove and reduce barriers to successful reentry, ensuring that motivated individuals can compete for jobs, attain stable housing, support their families, and contribute positively to their communities. Candy, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Candy, if you could, I know I just kind of gave a little brief, but if you could just start off by telling us a bit more about the mission of Reentry Solutions and the primary goals you guys are working toward.
Okay. Well, the mission of Reentry Solutions is to break the cycle of return to incarceration. We want to keep families together and be supportive of that whenever it is possible. You all know Louisiana carried that banner of the incarceration capital of the world for decades. And working in the prison system, I saw that people were coming in younger and younger and felt convicted to get outside from behind the bars and see what we could do to stop them from coming back into prison. Once upon a time, people were going to jail left and right for drug usage. Some gave the excuses that they were trying to feed their families, they couldn't find jobs, etc. A lot of reasons and rationale that they would give that I would hear. But the bottom line was they were coming back. And when they return, there's a lot of brokenness with the children, with the parents, with the siblings. There's trauma there, and even trauma evoked to them by having to go through the process. And I just feel that there's a better way. There's a better way.
Wow. What specific services and programs does our Reentry Solution offer to individuals reentering the community from incarceration? And also, if there are any services that are available for, just a person who maybe have a felony on their record or something like, is that something, do you guys help those guys as well?
Well, let me tell you, our population is not just limited to those that have been in prison. Oh, okay. Our definition of reentry is any justice-involved person, whether they have been arrested one time, even for a speeding ticket. For whatever reason, if you've been into the system, we want to make sure you don't go back to the system. Now, when we first started this almost 14 years ago, the three areas of focus was employment, housing, and restoration of the family unit. And we still find that those are our three necessary areas to continue to focus on: employment and housing and restoration of that family unit. You have fathers that have been out of the family unit coming back wanting to be in that father figure, that parental role. And there's a transition that goes there, especially if you have a young man that was a baby when he left and now he's coming back and he's trying to be daddy. And there's a transitional period there, even for the wife or the girlfriend coming back, whether it's for a short period of time or a long period of time. You've inflicted harm on this family. We've taken a step back because of your actions. And because of that, you need to come in and help and make us whole again as much as possible. And in that process, many of them find themselves frustrated because of the lack of opportunities. Whenever you go and apply for a job, if you put on there that I'm a felony convicted, then once upon a time that application would go straight to file 13, the trash can, because there were so many people who didn't have that stain in their record that they could choose from. COVID came and kind of changed all that. COVID came and it also shifted our population. With COVID, we went from employment and housing to more restoration services. Everybody was shut in for a long period of time. Employers found themselves in need of employees who would come to work and stay on the job and willing to pay more for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that did a shift about us. It is true that some employers that are in the criminal justice system involved, they receive tax credits for hiring persons that are justice involved citizens, and they will keep some and some they won't keep. And in order to look at that, you got to look at the whole picture from the employer's perspective and the employee's perspective. From the employer perspective, I was getting this tax break. It was good. I got the job done, but you're not the diamond in the rough that I want yet. Or you still have some modifications to do, or some soft skills, or you still have some issues that you need to work out that's interfering with you. And some I just use for the tax break, and let's go on to the next one. However, my role and my goal is to take each person with where they are, and let's see what we can do to thrust you forward, because your time in incarceration has been time that you can't get back. So now we need to help empower you by speaking truth to you. However raw you need to hear it. You got to show up on time. Before time is on time, and on time is late. These are and I also try to make sure that they understand that they need to look at the employer's business from the employer's perspective. If you had money and you were paying somebody by the hour, would you want them to come in 15 minutes late every day? Would you want them to drag the smoke break out? Would you want them to half-ass do their job? Excuse my friend. But would you want them to do it, or would you expect excellence from them? And in so, you got to give that. Not everybody is at that moral level of give a man a fair day's worth of work for a fair day's pay. And that's on both sides.
Right.
Some employers are not there, and some other employees are not there. But I believe that if we stand on those biblical principles, and if we do our part, God is faithful to do his part, and it'll all work out in the end.
Well, just as a follow-up to that, Candy, a lot of times, the men and women who fall into this in this category, they're there, but they are, 3 or 4 cycles into this into this type of a system. So a lot of times, they come out and it's time for them to go to work. And like you and I, we understand what the work ethic kind of thing mean. You be to work on time and you can't call in sick. But a lot of times, folk haven't had that kind of, encouragement, that kind of training, that kind of
discipline.
That discipline. So, have you seen any movement in the area of, extra services? For the employers to recognize this as a potential area that, that they can work and try to move it to a different level, but also for that employee, that's trying to get back into the workforce. Are there any kind of services out there to help them with, what's really appropriate job skills?
I am so glad you asked that question. As a matter of fact, Reentry Solutions is in a reset mode, because we found that the population that we were servicing since COVID has shifted to a lot of homeless persons. Some don't have the capacity to hold employment and to be that model employee that employees are looking for. So what we're doing with Reentry Solutions is we are in the transition phase of beginning our reset program, where we will expand the age criteria from being 21 and above to 17 to 25. We're going to concentrate on that area. We're going to have our internship and apprenticeship programs, where we're actively asking right now for employer partners to join us. We have young adults who have not gotten set in their ways yet, who want the opportunity to work, to prove themselves, who would be inspired by a stipend to compensate them for their time. So it's not free, but there is an incentive for them to be the best that they can be for that employer, and that employer in turn keep them on. So I think that this will be an exciting and a rewarding program for employer partners, irregardless to what spectrum you're looking at. We have young people, again, age 17 to 25, who want to work. When I was growing up in Clinton, Louisiana, and that's in East Feliciana Parish, we had a program where every summer everybody worked. I started out working in the courthouse, and everybody worked. It just was not an option, it was an expectation. And my goal is to make sure that persons between the ages of 17 and 25, that they're working. We have enough employer partners that have jobs, employers out there who we want to be partners, who have jobs from minor to major and moderate, that young people can do and be taught to do. And if the employers look at it as this is a potential person that I can train or coach into a permanent position, and young people are not used to making a lot of money, so you can have them satisfied to and motivated for increased pay with that from that stipend. I think it's going to be a win-win for both. Now, to answer your question, Reentry Solutions is going to partner with our employer partners to provide that coaching mechanism on both parts, on behalf of the reentry member and on behalf of the employer. Because when it's a win-win for both, it's a win-win for everybody.
Wow. That's really awesome, because I firmly believe that component is definitely needed in any programs that we roll out, because of the cycles where we are right now, the training and that kind of thing. And so the idea that you guys are focusing in on those 17 to 25, that's, you're still moldable at that time, and it is a good to hear that. That's for sure.
And they got the energy. These young folks got energy, and they got ideas, and they think outside of the box. I also want to point out with that, this starting this August, Reentry Solutions will have 5 interns. And so those college interns will help to provide the additional support and coaching for those 17 to 25-year-olds, so that they will so that it's a win-win for all. So they're getting the experience they need. The 17 to 25-year-old is getting the work experience they need. The employer partners are getting the help that they need from the employment standpoint. Our economy will be able to be strengthened from it. We're going to be able to create our own workforce.
Well, when you talked about, and I'm pretty sure you were talking about the old CETA days and the old JTPA days.
Yes.
Right. And in those particular programs actually gave us some real good models of how we should. And at the time, we were still churning out people who were ready to go into the workforce. The crazy thing about it, though, Candy, is the idea that we know what will work. And you're talking about, and we do have those resources within our community right now. That if our government entities would all work together to pool those resources in there, and these kids, the kids in the rural area, the kids that are in the urban centers like Alexandria and Pineville, and give them something to do, we probably would see a drop in the crime and all kind of stuff.
Oh, I really believe so. I really believe so. When I look back and I remember the days of asking, why are you back? Why are you back in here again? And it really a lot of it boiled back down to, one, I need money, and and won't nobody hire me, or they won't hire me. And 2, I don't have any skills to be able to get that job, and nobody will hire me because I don't have those skills. So this program kind of takes that excuse away. Another component that we are introducing in the fall, and that is our job program, our boss track. That's what we're calling it, boss track. Many of these young people have ideas of businesses and they want to be entrepreneurs. So we have identified low startup cost or investment costs where people can go and they can start their own business, and we will give them the coaching and the mentoring to be able to do it right and to be able to train them. So if you don't want to go apprenticeship, internship style, then you can go to the boss track mechanism and learn how to be that entrepreneur. My daddy always told me, girl, you better not be pushing nobody's broom. You better be telling somebody where to push it at. And so he did. And so to make the long story short, many of them have dreams. I want to do this. I want to do that. And this opportunity don't exist for me. Well, let us use our resources to help you make that happen.
Awesome. Good. What are some of the most significant barriers that you see individuals face when reentering society and, from incarceration?
Needing employment for income immediately. When you get out, 12:01 midnight, if you have transportation or they drop you off at a bus station or somebody come get you, you don't have any money. They work for cents a day. And even if they're not, if you've been arrested and you're released, you need employment for income immediately, because now you got fines, you got court costs, some people have restitution, you got classes or therapy you need to take care of, and you need income immediately. And the only way, and now they know they got to go to straight and narrow with it. But where do I get that opportunity? I'm a firm believer that if we could partner with some municipalities, there's no reason why we should have unemployment, because we could give them the skill training, the coaching, and the supervision that is needed, where when they got out, they could go in, they could be employed, and they could take care of themselves and their families. The old saying, if you give a man a fish, he got a meal for a day. You teach him how to fish, he can eat for a lifetime.
Right. And when you think about it, you look at the municipalities right around here, and our own city, the city of Alexandria, we outsource tons of jobs that that really just require labor to get it done,
and that's a perfect scenario for reentry solutions, because we got the people who need the labor. Now, let me tell you something else that I've learned too in my days of reentry solutions. And that is, not everybody that walked through my doors are ready for that hand up.
Okay.
Some are still wanting to play games. And if I had a magic way to weed them out, oh, I sure would. But I tell you what, I've learned some things through the years. I can pick up on them boogers real fast now. And I let them know I got too many other people out here to help. If you're not ready to make that positive, permanent change, don't waste my time or my resources. But if you're ready, I'm here for you. We're here for you. My entire team is here for you.
Employment, dollars immediately upon release. And I would suspect also, Candy, that would also translate into, if they need health care or something like that, they need food, they need somewhere to stay, and all of those kind of things. And when those things don't happen, that's how it's really easy for them to slip.
Downward spiral. Yeah. As a matter of fact, at Reentry Solutions, because of COVID, we found that we need to, and because of the population change, we now have a clothes closet. where before we had it just for working clothes. When you needed you're getting ready for a job interview and you needed clothes to go look your best, to go work boots, etc. But we've expanded that now to where you can come in and even get clothes for your children, because we have found that grandparents are raising their grandchildren because the kids are incarcerated. Right. And we've also found that some grandparents are incarcerated, and the grandparents would supply that extra for the children. Miss Rebby does a back to school clothes drive, and we are taking those now. So if you have some gently worn uniforms, know that there's somebody out there that needs them. Please donate your clothing and your workwear to Reentry Solutions for the children or the adults. Last year, she had to ration the school uniforms out. The demand was that high for it.
Was that great?
It was that great.
Yeah, well, just tell Ms. Ribby to definitely send us a flyer so we can get it out there. We do it for organizations all the time, Candy. So just tell Ms. Ribby to send us one, and we'll definitely put up an article on that.
Thank you.
And we were talking about the employment, so I want to delve down and get a feel for exactly, one of the biggest major challenges that these guys are facing is getting that employment, especially with that felony conviction. Can you kind of paint us the picture in detail? How does Reentry Solution specifically help and assist these individuals in securing jobs? What does that look?
We go out to the employers and we contact them and see what their needs are and what's the ideal employment opportunity that you have, what employment opportunity you have, and what's the ideal candidate for that position. What does that look like? What skill sets do they have? Then we come back to the office and we see who in our database, who gets coming in that meets that criteria, and we'll send them out for the job, for the interviews. Once upon a time, we did even do the drug testing to make sure that they were clean, because employers were saying, "Hey, look, they're not staying, or this may be a problem." But before I put my name on you, I need to know that you're good. So we did that. I've come back as interim executive director since October. And so we are implementing a lot of those things back again. But what that looks like is we go out to employer partners. The 3 areas that we're focusing on for the fall is highway workers, maintenance, and hotels, because you got a lot of basic skills there that they can, entry-level skills that these young people can get to and get that need met with that skills and have money coming in to do it. But we're open to all the others, because there are others that are out there. So if you have an opportunity and you're listening, and your employer or you're an employer have an opportunity, you say, "Hey, look, we could use a young person here. I want to mentor and pour into, invest into this next generation. Come join us. Please come join us." It's going to take all of us to be able to make our city what we want it to be. And we can't do it without our young people working. Now, that's not to say that we are not going to service those that are 25, 26 and beyond. We just calling those the seniors now. We're just calling those the seniors now. But there's still a need there as well, and we will continue to do that. We also found ourselves doing the turkey drive. We partnered with Aetna. And they provided us with 300 turkeys to give away. We made it a health fair. Because of COVID, I lost 3 aunts to COVID. And because of that, we started doing the COVID shots and having the health fairs at the office. We even take it to the streets and go in the community, do it, and partner with other community partners with it. We sign up for Medicaid enrollment. We try to, again, identify the barriers and be a resource so that we can stop that return to incarceration.
Right. So on the housing side, stable housing, it's definitely going to be crucial.
Oh, yes. Yes.
For somebody reentering. And family members. Let's just face it. Family members are families, and these guys definitely need somewhere to stay.
Yes.
What initiatives or partnership does reentry offer or have in place to help those individuals?
We are looking for more employer partners. We're looking for more employer partners and more housing partners. Mm-hmm. So if you want any of your listeners know that a job is coming available or open where they're work at, please pick up the phone and give us a call. Reentry Solutions, 443-0189. Hey, such and such, it has a position open. That's all we need to know. And we can take it from there. But oftentimes we're not spinning our wheels, but we're looking for where that opportunity exists at. When if we had a team of committed citizens willing to help us to keep somebody working, when you find out a vacancy somewhere, give us a call and let us know. Now, housing, we need those partners as well. Some people come out and they're able to live with their family members. Some are not. Some, the family members are just toxic for them. And some are staying with family members, and that's a problem. You got the sofa, look, you can sleep on the sofa because as a culture of people, as long as I got a place to lay my head, you can lay your head there too. That doesn't mean you're going to be able to stay there always, but for temporarily you can. Which is one reason why we started housing options, Andre and I did, because we realized that 1-bedroom and studio apartments were needed. However, we don't have enough. We just simply don't have enough. So if we have housing partners that you're willing to house, give us a call and let us know you have that available. Now, I'll say this as well. One of the things that I always hear some of my agents say, and that is they come out and they don't have nothing. Unfortunately, housing is not free, and it's just not. So those landlords expect to get their compensation,
right?
And they have to. So they're gonna have to be. And this may be the opportunity for a church to partner to adopt an adult. That was one program we had at one time, to where the church would say, hey, you're coming out. We're going to adopt you. We're going to take you into our fold, and we're going to help you get on your feet. And in return, you do the right thing and hopefully give yourself to Christ. And so that's an opportunity that exists too. So if you have a church that's wanting to partner with us, we are in the middle of our Come Grow With Us campaign. And our Come Grow With Us campaign is where we are asking churches, if we can get 100 churches to donate $100 a month or their best to Reentry Solutions, then we would be able to do some of those things. We would know when those people are coming in, what those needs are, and we would be able to do that. We are a 501c3 public charity. And so we are here to serve the public, not make a profit. My time and office is donated. We are here doing what we can because the need is there, and our people are worth it.
They're definitely. How you talked about it a little bit, but I just want to reiterate it. How important is community support in the reentry support? What can the local communities do better to support the returning citizens coming into the community?
If you just partner with Reentry Solutions, whether that's in giving your best donation monthly, whether that's in coming and giving your time with us, taking your clothing that you have, gently worn uniforms and work clothes, and donating to us, whatever you have, we have a need for it. We have a need for you. Our website right now and social media page is looking for someone to help us to be able to keep that up. So we are public charity. We don't have the funding to pay someone to do all this, but everybody has a talent. So if you're willing to partner with us and share your talents, your time, and your money with us, then we can make this world a better place. We can.
And can you You guys have been at it for 14 years. Can you share some success stories of individuals that have benefit from reentry?
I can share many with you. As a matter of fact, I've been videoing some, so when we can get someone to help us with the YouTube channel, we'll be able to have them over and over again. But more recently, we've had someone that had a fire, Miss Rebby told me, and they had no clothing and things, and they were able to come. When I come up to my office, it is not uncommon for me to see people coming in. I saw one lady the other day, literally with baby wipes, doing what I call a little hoe bath, just trying to get brushed up a little bit to come inside, right out there in her car. We see people that are in need of food. We have food and water that we have in the refrigerator because they're coming in, they've been on the street, it's hot outside. If they need something to eat, we can open up a can of soup or meatballs and spaghetti and give to them to eat. The Bible says we're supposed to be doing all these things.
That's right.
And when we do it unto the least, we do it unto God. And some people feel like, they done earned it. They done got themselves there. I'm for second chances. Where's my little button? And I'm for second chances. And I just believe that's what we are called to do. So how can they help? Give us your time, your talent, your resources. Call us, 443-0189. Get your church to come and partner with us and help us with your best offering monthly, because you may not be able to see all of the needs, but we do. And as a public charity, you can trust us that we are meeting the needs of the people, and we will be able to give it and put it where it needs to be. If you have an employment position that you know of available, call us.
Call you.
If you have a housing opportunity available, call us. Another success story, we had a gentleman that got out of prison. His mother was mentally ill, was paranoid. We were able to secure temporary housing for him. We were able to help get the mother some medication. Hopefully she'll go into treatment because she needs it. But we were able to make that a win-win. We place people every day. We help people get Medicaid enrollment, the health insurance, their health insurance with Medicaid enrollment. But many of them don't go the extra step to have a personal care physician. You can have the card, but you got to have somewhere where you go, to take care of your needs. And a lot of times it's providing that listening ear. Somebody needs to just be heard. Just be heard.
Wow. Let me ask you, what are some of the future plans that y'all have of it as we move in? We're post-COVID now. What are some of those plans that y'all have in?
One is our Boss Track, our entrepreneurship program. That's one. Another one is our apprenticeship and internship for ages 17 to 25, placing them with those highway jobs, those hotel jobs, and other jobs. Internships at Reentry Solutions, we will have 4 in the fall sessions. And of course, we've been donated some land, and we want to develop that land to be able to provide training for people as they are building. That's going to be one of the contractors' requirements, that you train our people to do the labor for the apartments as they come up. And then we turn that into housing for people that need it in our community. Okay. It's a bright future ahead for reentry, but we can't do it by ourselves. And I keep telling everybody, I'm looking for my replacement. These young folks got ideas and they have energy, and I want to teach them all that I know so that they can take it to the next level.
All right. For our viewers who want to learn more or get involved, where can they find more information about reentry and what have you? If you got some folk that want to come volunteer and help you guys, yes. and specifically, those guys that may be returning home, how do they get in contact with you guys?
Our number is 443-0189. That's 318-443-0189. Our website is reentrysolutions.org. Reentrysolutions.org. Our address is 1617 Branch Street. That's 1617 Branch Street, Alexandria, Louisiana, 71302. Please get with your churches so that they can partner with us, come grow with us. I would love to see each church have a sticker in their window that say, I support second chances, because there are some churches that are not open to taking in those who have done a bad thing. So let's make this world a better place by doing what we can do, and everybody can do something. If you don't know what to do, just come call us. We got plenty for you.
Y'all got something for Candy. Before we got started, I wanted to ask you a little bit about the importance of voting. What I've learned over the last several years is there's a ton of people who had felonies that they automatically dropped off of. In other words, the barrier that was stopping them from being able to participate in the voting process, that was wiped out. And so you have a ton of people who are, they are, eligible to vote.
Yes.
But they don't know that they can vote. And those prior convictions have been dropped off of their record and all that.
Yes. Reentry Solution is a voter registration site. You can go there and we can set you up to get you registered. Everything to keep you from being that law-abiding, productive citizen that you were destined to be. We have attempted and will continue to attempt to help thrust them forward. If once upon a time, if you were felony convicted, you couldn't vote. If you were on probation, you couldn't vote. You didn't know what to do, and some people threw their hands up in the air with it. We have this part of your civic duties. It's just part of your civic duty. And yes, we will be participating in voter registration drives to help people become more aware of. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call or come by. You all know that everybody has a smartphone these days. You can look up on the web, Clerk of Court's office. There is no reason for you not to affirmatively know whether or not you are eligible or not eligible to vote. There's just no reason. And frankly, I'm just tired of the excuses. If you don't know, you need to ask, and we can support you and help you with information from that point on.
Candy, a lot. What I'm hearing a lot of is the idea that you have people that they've been disenfranchised for a long time.
Yeah.
And they don't have a lot of confidence in the people who are in authority at this point. But yet and still, they remain. This group of folk out here, right here, they have a big stake in this thing because they're the ones that can say, okay, City of Alexandria, I need to have elected officials who say, you know what, these jobs like maintaining the yards of the city, these are no longer going to be outsourced. They're no longer going to be outsourced. The meter reading jobs are no longer going to be outsourced. These are going to be, and outsourced to organizations that don't live in our community, and the folk who are working from them don't live in our community. But yet and still, we have tons of people right here that
who needs to work and want to work.
And want to work, with benefits and things of that nature, and would work if those opportunities. And so we need, when they go vote, they got to go vote for people with those kind of mindsets in mind, and say, hey, we're gonna vote you in here, but we also gonna hold you accountable to making these policy changes, and that kind of thing. And I think we as a community, we need to do a little bit better job of explaining those civic processes and how they work, so that people can start to build that trust and say, hey, my voice do matter. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. Before COVID, we did a voter registration drive at probation and parole office.
Yeah,
And
I actually remember that.
yes, you were there. You were there. Yes, we did before COVID.
I do remember.
We sure did. And so we're not afraid of going into our community and going where our people are so that we can get them the information that they need. And you're absolutely right. Many of them don't have the confidence or self-confidence that they can, because once you have been in that arena of life, then your self-confidence take a big blow, and you kind of just bow down and say okay to whatever. But where there's knowledge, there's power. Where there's knowledge, there's power. And we have to, and the Bible says where there's no vision, the people perish. We have to cast that vision. Right. We have to cast that vision. And so, yes, we will continue to do voter registration drives. We will continue to encourage everyone to do their civic duty of exercising their vote, being responsible for our mankind, and for making sure that our needs are met so that our next generation can have it better than the struggles that we've had to go through.
Now, before we get ready to get out of here, Candy, it's got a couple of questions out here.
Sure.
And one up, are you okay with answering some
sure,
of the questions?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Here's the first one. It says, do we have any clinical supervisors? So I'm sure since you got them alphabets behind your name, you probably can relate to what that question
means. As a matter of fact, I am a licensed clinical social worker. I'm also a licensed addiction counselor. And this is the reason why we're able to get the interns from various universities at their master's levels and bachelor's levels of service to come work with us. So yes, we have on-site clinical supervision, and that is me.
All right. Okay.
And we also have opportunity for volunteers. So Donald, if you are a clinical supervisor and you want to come volunteer and help us, come on. Let's and that's not just extended to Donald. Any other social worker or clinician out there, there's room. There's room.
Okay. Here's another one. I know we touched on it. I think this one came in before, but can you quickly answer that one? Do you guys help getting a place to live?
Once upon a time, we actually provided the housing through a place that we call Safe Landing. That was moons ago. We no longer have Safe Landing, but what we do now is we link and refer persons to available housing. And this is why I said, if anyone knows of a vacancy or where housing is available, please let us know. Whether it's a rooming board situation or shared housing situation or apartment or house, let us know. One of the barriers we found is that a lot of time people don't have the resources for the housing, and you can't go, water ain't free no more. You have to be able to pay for that. And landlords need to have that reassurance that they are not going to rent to you for 1 month, and then after the rental assistance is gone, you can't afford to keep it up. So that's why that housing and that employment piece is so crucial. So crucial. Okay. Next.
And the next one, again, how to get in contact. Can you pin the number? And yes, we will pin Candy's number and her information, how to get to her on social media. But if you could go ahead and give us that telephone.
That number is 318 443-0189. 318-443-0189 is Reentry Solutions. Our office address is 1617 Branch Street. We're right off of Lee Street Extension in Alexandria, Louisiana. Our zip is 71302. And again, I'm asking all of our employer partners to please come grow with us. I apologize for that.
No problem.
Come grow with us so that we can provide the help that we need to our people and the resources that they need. Because if we have those resources in-house, then when someone needs, we see that we can just go ahead on and take care of it instead of stopping. Let me contact this organization and let's work it out to see who can go pick it up, where they can do it, if they can meet them. It just makes it so much more efficient. So if we can get our churches to partner with us, come grow with us. We are a public charity. We are 501c3.
Cool. Candy, is there anything else that you'd like to mention before we prepare to get out of here this evening?
I'd like to say to you that everyone is valuable and everyone is valued. And if we all treated everybody as if they were our favorite cousin, then we all would be able to have a better world. We live in a better world. I think it's our job, it's our duty to make this world a better place. And I invite you all, come grow with us. Don't just watch us grow. Come grow with us. There's work to do.
Cool.
I also want to throw this last plug.
Go for it.
If there is a municipality, not just Alexandria, and I'm putting it out there for the city of Alexandria and Pineville, but if there is a municipality that would like to partner with us so that we can help you meet your work pool need, your labor pool need, and basic labor, please contact us. We have people that want to work. And if you're listening and you have a family member or you have been just as involved, if you're ready for a hand up, not a handout, if you're ready for a hand up, come see us. If you're ready for a handout, I'm going to pray for you.
You're going to pray for you. Candy, we over here involved in it all, UrbanCast. We certainly thank you so much for sharing your insights tonight and the incredible work that Reentry is doing within our community. To our viewers, we definitely want to say thank you. Without you, we couldn't bring this information to the public.
I cannot do this without my team, Jack. Please allow me to say that.
Oh, go ahead.
It's not just Candy Christophe. We have a board of directors and we have a team of workers that work entirely. We have volunteers that come. Thank everyone. It's not just Candy Christophe. It's our team.
Absolutely. I get it. Look, I definitely, I'm the one. Damon, Steve, and I, we get it. We understand. We also would like to extend a special thank you to our supporters out there. Our supporting partners, Sadler's Towing, Long's Preferred Products, National Tire and Auto, and Math Makes Sense. Your support helps us bring the community these important conversations, to everyone in our community. Until next time, I want you guys to stay safe, be well, and stay vigilant out there. Candy, if you can hold on 1 second, I'm going to go ahead and end the live.
Okay.